Today we continue with the third and final installment on three-handed piano playing. And this is a mini series. It's part of a bigger series on playing improvised piano. If you didn't see any of the before videos up there, it's the first video. If you only missed the second one, but you saw the first one, that is what you want to see. Today, we're going to focus on putting it all together. Now let's pivot to the left hand. So practice the same answer chords you just did in the same octave containing the thirds and sevenths. Now just like a right hand, you're going to stay on one chord and you'll introduce some sort of rhythm, and then you'll go to change between the two chords, same way. And then maybe you'll go from F7 to C7, we're going to B flat. And then you can look at all the different ways that it changes. At one point it goes from C7 to B flat 7, so I have to practice that. And then back to F7. So then I'd go through the form just like I did before. But the difference is this is with your left hand, because your left hand and right hand are going to switch sometimes, depending. Remember that you can use rhythm to indicate the harmonic movement by pushing into the next chord from the last one. So for example, here I'm going to push from B flat to F7, F7 to B flat. And then I'm not going to do it this time for variety. But now I'm not going to do it, and then I'll do it. Now, practice the bass range similarly with the left hand. So in other words, you can do the same rhythm you did with the answer chords, or you can use a different one if you want. And you do the same thing, one chord at a time, then switch between two chords, go between, figure out which ones move to the next one so that you can practice all of them. Once you get around to doing the form, you don't really have to go back to the single chord or to two chord practice anymore. You just keep going through the form. So putting it all together, we're going to improvise with a limited group of notes from the blues scale you were practicing a few minutes ago in your right hand. So I'll use these three notes and just those three notes. Keep in mind that when you start working on this, you're going to have to simplify each part so that you can get everything working together. So right now, just fifths on the bottom, no answer chords, plus the melodic improvisation above. If it's getting difficult, simplify. If you're doing three notes and that's too hard, do two. If two is too hard, do one. And for this, we're leaving out the answer chords. Use the fifths on the downbeats where the chord changes, but only on the first beat of each bar because we're simplifying. And let's see how that sounds. Okay, that was one time through the form. Not bad, right? Now let's start building. I'll use additional notes with my right hand from that F blues scale. I'll leave the rest the same for now. Here we go. So I kicked myself upstairs a little bit, but if you're new to this, you may want to just introduce one extra note. Don't go too far too fast. Now maybe I'll add a few more rhythms in the fifths. So I'm going to play with some pushes like I mentioned before. So next, let's do just the answer chords in the left hand and the improvised melody in the right. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Now that's great when you have a bass player and you want to stay out of their way sonically, in terms of range. By the way, it's a great time to subscribe if you'd like more of these tutorials. So next, let's try the accompaniment without the improvised melody. So let's try this. Okay, you get the idea, right? Notice that's hands together. The answer chords are now in the right hand, and the fifths are in the left hand bass, right? So you're imagining you're playing with another player. Like, for example, if you have a saxophonist or a guitarist who's playing the improvised melody. I'm going to play a little bit more and use a rhythmic unison between the two hands. Unison when said alone usually means with the same note. Like if you play a note on guitar and then I play the same note in the same octave on piano. But a rhythmic unison means different notes, or could be the same, but with the same rhythm, like I just did. Same rhythm and different notes. That this also works in more complex textures and can be quite effective, So check this out. So notice that's hands together with answer chords in the right hand and the left hand. So you're switching to a stride feel where the left hand takes over the answer chords and the right hand part, answer chords, can do the push where the chords change, as I mentioned earlier, during a rest in the upper line. And the stride texture can support the entire harmonic situation while the right hand improvises. Now, stride refers to a left hand texture where the left hand plays alternating call and answer or bass and mid-range chords. And it sounds a little like the stride of somebody walking, I think, which is why they called it that. Here's a little more fancy kind of a stride, same sort of thing. You can see I'm playing around with, sometimes I just abandon the bass for a minute. Other times I'm playing it all the way through. And then I abandon it. Like that. So again, it's at your discretion, but this is a way to get this three-handed approach coalesced into this single unit. Now, stride can also be slow or fast. Finally, combine all these together and extend your capabilities in each strata. Like a juggler, you can expect to drop a ball from time to time, no big deal. Have fun with this, and we'll see you Tuesday next week for a dive into some tips, which I haven't shared here, about how to improvise melodic lines. If you're free on Saturday and it's your cup of tea, please check out this week's technical tutorial. We'd love to see you there. See you soon.